Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Declasse Tulip in Grand Theft Auto Online. We customized this thing not all that long ago. I think it was probably the last time that it was on sale back in September. But anyways, I figured I would give it another customization today because it has been a little while. So anyways, we're going to start off with the armor on this thing. We're going to go all the way up on that, the brakes as well, of course. For the bumpers, we do have front and rear options on this thing. It's going to have all the typical muscle car options with these huge like front air dam kind of things. I think that I kind of like the look of the low level splitter or the painted low level splitter. I think we'll go low level. If you do the painted version, it puts these two little marks right here on the car, which I don't really like. So we'll just go for the low level splitter, the non-painted one, I guess. For the rear bumper, we'll also go for the painted bumper. It looks pretty painted to me, but maybe I'm tripping, I guess. I don't know. For the engine, we're going to go all the way up on that. For the exhaust, we have the straight pipe exhaust, the chrome tip exhaust, the race exhaust, and of course the chrome plated side exit exhausts. I'm going to go for the straight pipe exhaust. I probably went for that one last time because I like it way better than the rest, so I think it makes sense. For the hood, we have a few different things that we can do here. I'm probably not going to pick one of these like huge bug catcher ones. I'm not a big fan of these. However, we do have some pretty cool hood options. I really like the dual intake hood. I think that looks really sick, so I think I'm going to go for that one actually. Now for the lights on this thing, we are going to go xenon, and for the additional traction that we're going to get, because this lowers the center of gravity when you put the neon layout on, we are going to do the front, back, and the sides. Now I typically wouldn't do that, but I'm just going to leave it white. We're going to put it on and we're going to kind of ignore it. So that's how we're going to rock with it, at least. For the stripes, we do have the black stripes livery, the white stripes as well. The racing stripes, this is a pretty cool livery actually. I do like that. We have the outlaw livery, the good, the bad, and the ugly as well. We have the tension livery as well. We also have the badger livery. We have the Los Santos Knights livery, and back to none. I'm pretty sure that on my last customization of this thing, I went for either the good or the ugly, or maybe the outlaw. I think that I want to go for something a little different today. I think that I want to do the black stripes, or maybe the white stripes, but for right now we're going to go black just so we can actually see it on the car, because obviously the rest of the car is white. For the plate, yellow and black, of course, as usual. For the color of the car itself, I think that I'd like to go for some sort of a blue. I think that this thing will look pretty mean in a blue. I feel like racing blue actually looks great on this thing. I feel like that's a very fitting color for the time period when this car is from. So I think I'm actually just going to go for racing blue straight up. Really like the look of that. For the secondary, I think that I want to do it in a black. I think it just looks really good, so let's do that. I actually want to go back to the bumper quickly and see if the rear bumper, okay, yeah, that makes it black, or we got to do that then, because I feel like that just looks a lot better. So we'll do that. For the spoiler, we are going to need the extra traction. The lip spoiler, we have the ducktail spoiler, we have the low level spoiler, the drift wing, the pro touring spoiler, and the painted pro touring spoiler as well. I think that I kind of like the look of just the lip spoiler. It's kind of basic, little tiny ducktail. Could also go for the actual ducktail, but I feel like it's kind of weird that it just stops right there. So I kind of like the lip spoiler a little bit better for that reason. Let's go for that. Suspension, gotta slam this thing all the way down for sure. Transmission, it does have a super transmission, which is interesting. Let's go for that. The turbo, gotta put that on as well. Now the stock wheels do get affected by the primary color of the vehicle, which is interesting. So unfortunately, I think we're going to change that because, well, these rims aren't the best looking that I've ever seen, that's for sure. So that's okay though. We will make them, you know, a fitting color anyways, so that's fine. Do we want to go for some low profile rims on this thing, or do we want to go for some more tire? I am not quite sure yet. Let's just take a look around here and see what we can see. I'm wondering about maybe going for like some endos or something for this thing. Let's go into the tuner category and see if we can find some endos in here. I know they're in here. We do have the Endo V1 or the Endo V2. I feel like those look decent, but I don't know if they're exactly what I'm looking for. What about under the muscle category? What if we go for like the Kraka or something like that. The crack is just such a good looking rim. I hope that I didn't do the crackers on the last build that I went for with this car. I honestly can't remember what I ended up going for with the last one, but the crackers just look so good, man. I don't know. I think I might have to put them on. I don't know. I can't think of anything better to do, so let's just do the crackers again, I guess. Well, I say again, hopefully it's not again. But if it is, then, well, so be it, I guess. Let's do the wheels in... I was thinking about going stone silver on them, just to kind of break up the color, add a third color onto the car. But I'm not really loving the look of it. What about some midnight purple? Looks okay, but yeah, it's not really something I want to do. Let's just go black. I think black it's just a solid bet. Bulletproof tires, let's add those on. We could do custom tires. Not a big fan though, so let's leave that off. Windows, let's tint them. Let's tint them just a little bit. Let's do a light smoke on these. I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with this car. I'm happy with the build. Let's take it down to the ground. We're gonna do a sound test, of course, and a full review on the car. So let's just take a listen to the vehicle to start off with. Okay, well that NPC just took out the light there. I just wanted to take a quick look at the interior of this thing. It's very basic. There's carbon fiber on the dash for some reason, which I think is a bit of an odd choice for a muscle car that's from the 70s. I'm pretty sure carbon fiber wasn't a thing. In fact, I'm 100% sure that carbon fiber wasn't a thing because, well, it wasn't. So that's very interesting with the design choice there, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It sounds pretty good though. It's not a bad sounding car, that's for sure. The handling, bit of a different story. This car's bouncy. It's very bouncy. I was just noticing right there. So we got to talk about the performance of this thing. I am semi-familiar with the Tulip because, like I said, I did do that customization not all that long ago. This car is far better at lower speeds than it is at higher speeds. When you get into the higher speeds, all of a sudden the car starts just jumping around a bunch, which is very frustrating to say the least. It does have decent acceleration, and the top speed is it's decent for the muscle category, but it's not anything too crazy. But the handling is really unfortunate because the car handles well until it doesn't. It was fine around that corner. It's been fine around most of the corners. It's actually when you get going fast in a straight line that this car really seems to struggle with. I think it's, well, aerodynamics would be the real life issue of the car, but in GTA it's got a bunch of advanced handling flags, which are of course the issue, making the car respond strangely to bumps especially, and several other things like that that are pretty much completely out of our control, which make the car not very great, which is very unfortunate because it is a very good looking car. It does have some nice customization. Generally, I would say that I do like the vehicle. However, yeah, when you start driving it quickly, it starts to bounce around a lot and it becomes generally kind of undrivable. It actually almost reminded me of the overflood Xeno there when we were first coming up the hill after the sound test. I hit like one curb and this thing just started bouncing all over the place, and I was like, man, this reminds me a lot of the Xeno with the aftermarket mirrors on it. Because if you guys didn't know, the overflood Xeno, if you put mirrors on it, goodbye, good luck. It's not going to drive very well. If you guys have a Xeno, go out and spend like $5 grand on the mirrors and then go and try to take it for a drive and you'll see what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, it's a good looking car. It handles decently at lower speeds. I would say it even handles decently at higher speeds. well, it's got that problem where with the bumps and everything, it just starts to go flying. There's another car that's like this. It's another muscle car. It's not the Tulip, obviously that's this car, but there's another one that's that's like a two-door version of the Tulip, I want to say, or very similar, and it is horrible to drive. It's the Declasse Vamos. That's what it is. The Declasse Vamos. That thing is awful though. This thing, you can still drive it at high speed, I would say. Not nearly as bad as the Vamos, that's for sure, but it's kind of reminiscent of the Vamos a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible, that's for sure. Definitely a car that I would look into this week while it's on sale, especially if you're a fan of older muscle cars. This thing is kind of unique in the fact that it is a four-door, which you don't get many muscle cars in GTA that are four doors other than like the Buffalo. So if you guys are interested in an older four-door muscle car, this is a great option for you. It doesn't handle too terribly, like I was saying. The acceleration is decent, the top speed's decent. Just watch out for those advanced handling flags, and when you start driving this thing at higher speeds, you will notice that the car will just sort of start to drift off in a direction that you're not really wanting it to drift off in. So that is just something to keep in mind. But other than that, I mean, honestly, the Declasse Tulip is not all that bad of a car. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the customization and review on the Declasse Tulip in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.